These are my items that I got from Hobonichi. I actually got these back in September, but what had happened was hello everyone. Welcome back. I mean, I just put lotion on, but you could just never be too moisturized, right? I hope. I got the stream cam going. I got this other setup happening for my vlog. I can kill two birds with one stone. Not that I'm in the business of like killing birds, but it's what they say, so I said it, and there we are. Here's what I wanted to get into though. These are my items that I got from Hobonichi. I actually got these back in September, but what had happened was we were moving and we were we weren't even in the middle of the move. Well, I guess you could say we were in the middle of the move. We weren't in the middle of the unpacking. We were in the middle of the move. I went back to the old location to get this package. I got this from Hobonichi, like the Hobonichi website, and a lot of people go through like jet pens, or they'll go through, I guess, Yoseka. There's a couple of places because I watched a bunch of unboxings around the time. Lots of people got theirs from vendors in the States who were selling these products because of all the tariffs and stuff that were happening. Of course, this is the first year. This isn't the first Hobonichi I've had, but I think the last Hobonichis I've gotten, they were from... I actually have another Hobonichi that I forgot about that's over here that I think I'm going to use for work. I'm going to put this in the mix, even though this is not a part of this haul. So, but I'm just going to show you that because we're going to get to that later. But that was just reminding me that, like, normally I get my Hobonichi from Amazon. And I think I may have got one from Jet Pens before, but I'm not really sure. That doesn't matter. What matters is this time I really wanted these pens. You could only get the like Hobonichi pen of the year if you order directly from them, and I thought these were super cute, these little tiny paperweights. And I was like, I also was noticing that not everything was available everywhere, and I wanted to see like the full like lineup. Like I wanted everything that was available that wasn't sold out to be available to me. So I didn't order when they launched, but I ordered like maybe a few days after that. And it just so happened that we were right in the middle of moving. Like we had already, I think we had already moved over to this current location that we're at now. But I had to go back and get the package. And then, obviously with a 5-month-old, we were crazy moving that time, but anyway, we're here now. There was a lot that happened after that in terms of like making sure the old place was done, closed down, and then also unpacking here. So long story short, is a few days into January and I'm just getting to filming this video, even though I had wanted to film it in September. So that's almost 4 months from in between, maybe 3, I don't know, I'm not counting right now. But I think I got this in mid-September. I ordered directly from Hobonichi, and this is what came. I'm going to show you what I got. I'm going to kind of tell you what I'm going to use things for, but pretty much nothing's set in stone. But okay, here we go. You want to see what's in here? Let's dig in. All right, first, let's start with, you know what? Let's go on ahead and just be all the way off the wall. Pull this stuff out of the way. We're not even going to start with what I got in the haul. We're going to go ahead and start with this, which I didn't get in this haul. So after I had already purchased this and I knew that it was going to be some time before I got that, I realized that I wanted a Hobonichi regular. This is a Hobonichi Weeks Mega, and I wanted just the regular one, and I felt like I could use it for work. It is obviously like a little thinner, and I'll pull these out of the packaging, but it's thinner than the Weeks Mega. This is the and I have a really good use case for this, so I was like, let me just go ahead and grab this. And because I had already placed that order, I wasn't going to place another order and pay tariffs for another order, so I just got this one from Amazon. This is a 2026, just like the rest of them. And the thing that I love about the Hobonichi Weeks is the same thing that actually in the past wasn't for me, because oh, that's my fingernail polish. My fingernail polish is peeling, y'all. Whatever, life happens. This was so cute. I'm just like laughing at it. This is so cute. So It comes with a little pocket that all the weeks come with, and this little, I don't know if it's a bookmark or I guess it's just something about the collection. Some information, and then you have your. Let's get this out of the way because I think this comes with all the Hobonichi books that I got. But this isn't like an unboxing like all the professionals did back in September because obviously I'm late to the party. But I just wanted to show you a couple things and tell you what I was thinking when I got this. In the past, the thing that was wrong with the Hobonichi for me is that I was trying to use it as like not my only planner, but I was trying to use it in a specific way, and it was just too small for me. I was like, how are you gonna fit anything in these monthly boxes? And then I love the weeks format, but it was something about the way I was using it. I was like, this isn't actually enough space. Now that I've come to realize like how useful this is, and that it should be used in a specific way. I mean, however it works for you, but I have a real understanding of like the utility of something this small. First of all, the fact that you could always have it with you. So when I go into the office, sometimes I need just something to write down notes or to kind of keep me on track for the week. And yeah, this is going to be my little back pocket buddy. So that is not something that I got from this actual haul, but these are. So we'll go ahead with these. First, let's start with. These are so cute. I've always wanted one, and obviously you can get them, and I've purchased these sort of Jetstream Uniball. They're basically like they're a ballpoint pen, but they're so like smooth and it feels like a gel pen. I don't really actually know all the stats, but every year they come out with a different color, and I just really like this, and so that was one of the reasons that that sort of convinced me to order directly from Hobonichi. So this was really cool. I can't wait to use this on this paper. Let's get right into it. I do know that I'm going to use this in some way, shape, or form to track financial stuff. And again, the good thing about these types of books, the weeks, is that they're so small. Now this one is the same height and like width, right? But it's thicker because it's a mega. So this is going to be for work. I have other books that I'm using for work, but this if I'm using it for like budgetary stuff or financial stuff, who knows? I might be using it to track like streams of income. I might be using it to write notes. But that's why I got the mega, because there's some things. So, okay, generally I like to see like what's coming out of which account in the week. That just is helpful to me, and I have tried to track it in another planner, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's never really a problem, but it's always just kind of like nerve-wracking to me to if something catches me off guard, like, oh, what is that came out? And then I go and find out like, oh, it's a legitimate charge. But for a second it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was happening. So this is my attempt of preventing those types of crises from happening in my brain. And I'm loving all the pages in the back. Not that anyone has ever run out of mega pages for the weeks, but I could possibly be the first one to ever do it, because I have all of these thoughts and ideas, and just kind of notes that go with like, hey, remember this, remember where you bought this, remember to take this back by, return this by this date. And I rarely ever do returns. Sometimes I have to do an Amazon return because they sent me the wrong thing or whatever. And this will be a great place to track stuff like that, in addition to tracking like what's due when and what account it's coming out of or what account it's going into. So I'm really excited to get this one. This one is the Strawberry Milk, and it's got 219 memo pages as opposed to the 75 memo pages that the regular weeks has. So I'm really excited. And as you may not know, I don't know, pink is one of my favorite colors. Like, it used to be my favorite color, but there's so many colors that I just love. I love the rainbow is my favorite color. But I really love teal, and I love orange, and I love yellow. So pink is still one of my very favorite colors. And so I figure like something about having something that draws you to it is going to help me use it, especially when you're talking about something as like maybe boring or can be as stressful as finances. It'll be nice to have this to help me remember like, oh, you know, pick up this book because you like the way it looks, but really you're about to do some real work in there. So that's to get us started. Now, this, I know what I'm doing with this one as well. This is one of those, well, I guess I could look at it. It's a Hobonichi Techo Han. It's an A6, so it's a daily. And here's what's interesting about this. Now, I don't even know what the sort of like design for this is, but okay, it says it right here. So let's use this because this is cool. It says right here, let's bring this down a little bit more so you can see what I'm talking about. It says right here, it's a 24-hour timetable. Let's take this off so we can really get into it. It's a 24-hour timetable. Not necessarily going to be using it for that. 3.7 milliliter gridded paper, a secret line to separate schedules from notes. That's cute. Daily quote. That'll be nice. 12 color tabs. Monday start. Mini calendar. All right. Here's what I like this book for. I used something similar to this last year when I was pregnant, and it was to track my own like health stuff. So like what I was eating, what symptoms I was having, things like that, because I noticed like going into the doctor, they would ask you these questions and I couldn't, I could rarely remember like what day it happened, when I did what, and because I was just really trying to track what I was eating and when was the last time I ate, those types of things like that. I needed something small that I could like use when I needed to. I was tracking all kinds of stuff in there, okay, guys, stuff that we don't even want to mention, but it was helpful to me just to have and I didn't even use it like religiously, but like during a specific time. I think it was like in between my first and second trimester, I think. I can't remember. But during a specific time, I was needing to track certain things that were happening to my body, or, what I was eating, what my reactions were to things, because I needed to know if they were normal and I needed to have a track record of it. And it was so good for me, too, because I was able to see what I was eating and like have a record of it. And I think that is so important for me as I'm now on my weight loss journey. I really need to have a record of what I'm eating and hold myself accountable so that when I'm going back and looking at like, oh, why did I only lose 1 pound this week, or why did I gain a pound, and I can go back and see, oh, it's because you did this, this, and this, right? So this is a smaller book. I don't have a ruler nearby, I don't think, even though I just saw one. Oh wait, there's one. Okay, you can use this ruler right here. I think this is 6 inches. Oh, maybe it's 7. Either way, you can see the inches right here. So it's an A6, so it's just under 6 inches. It might be like 5 3/4 inches tall, and it's about 4 1/4 inches wide. This is really cool because I could fit this in my bag if I wanted to. I could just have it nearby on my desk, but I really like, I probably won't, I don't know if I'll use these trackers or not, but just like the Hobonichi, I think cousin, it has the month, I don't know, I don't want to speak like, I don't really know, I don't really know. It has the days, so this is what I'm looking for. It has the months and it has the days. This one does not have the weeks like the Hobonichi cousin does. And I came to find that last year because I was actually looking for the smaller, I was looking for a specific size, but I wanted the weeks, but I wouldn't have probably used it anyway, because what I ended up using it for, I needed these full day spreads to say like, did I take my prenatal vitamin? Did I drink enough water? Blah, blah, blah. What I ate, what kind of happened to my body or what my body was doing that day. And so it was really good. And then I noticed after a while of me doing that, it was like a point of accountability for me. So I really like that. So I'm going to be doing that again this year, but for different purposes, not necessarily to track like what's happening with my body, but like really like what I'm eating and whether I took my vitamins and things like that. So the Han comes with this little pencil board, which is cool. I basically use it for a bookmarker or bookmark. What am I even talking about? I'm just making up words. It's so funny how you can get on here and you want to sound like, you know, a well-functioning human being, but then you start doing things that are not really what you do, or saying things that you don't really think about. And so that's what's happening to me now, but hopefully you're still with me. So anyway, this is the Hobonichi A6 Techo, and I can't wait to get into this. Again, it has a little card, which I would probably use as a bookmark for as long as I can keep it. And there's all these fun things in the back of the Hobonichi, guys. I never really use it, but it's like you can track your 100. You could check off all the 365 days. If you're like, let's say, just for an example, I was just saying like I wanted to drink 100 ounces of water a day. I could mark and fill in each day that I hit my goal versus when I didn't. And then when I look back on this for the year, I could see at one glance like, oh, you know, this is the track record of that. But I'm probably not going to do that because that's just, you know, too much to be thinking about. I have a lot of stuff. This is a page that I was thinking about using. Make a list of up to 100 entries for anything you want, things to accomplish this year, books you've read, movies you've seen, snacks you've tried, shops you want to visit. It's up to you. This is pretty cool because I like to work in 10s and 3s, and my 100, I think that's 100 is a great number. So I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. I'm just not going to hold myself to any like one, you know, like standard. I'm trying something different this year, so I don't want to say, oh, I'm going to use this for this and then don't do it. I know what I'm doing for sure. So if I end up using the 100, that's great. If I don't, it's fine too. But this book is going to be useful for me for accountability purposes. All right, on to the next thing. Now, these are cute. I don't know if y'all remember these. Well, if you're from my generation, you probably remember them. These little toys we used to have named Tamagotchis, and I know I had one at least. I can't remember. I think I have it right when it's like, it was this little pet thing. It was like a little digital toy that was battery operated that you're supposed to take care of it like a pet. I think that's what it was. But they have these cute little designs for Tamagotchi, and it just reminds me of the 90s. If you know me, or if you are familiar with some of my content, you know this is right up my alley because I love little doodles and just chaotic looking characters and colors. So I'm definitely going to use these as bookmarks for each of my different Hobonichi books here. But so I got the A6 size, which will obviously, well, let me put them together first, and then we can do all that because I saved the best for last. We got the A6 size, we got the week size, and then we got the cousin size. And so I have one for each of the planners that I'm going to use. I don't think I'll actually use a book. I don't know. This is for work, so we'll see how fun I'm willing to get with that, especially if I take this into the office. I don't really want to draw attention to myself using that. But I work in a pretty fun place, so it doesn't matter. Okay, but so see, this is going to go in here as a little bookmark, even though it comes with this. That's nice, but then I have another thing to mark, like maybe a day in the future or some page that I want to reference often. So that's really cool. Okay, so there's that. It's one for each size. We got one for the financial book, which isn't that fun, and it's pink. I didn't even put that together until now. So this is pink, and it is so fun that it's going to make me... Oh, I didn't even see the back of the other one. Let's go back and look at that. This is pretty chaotic, but you're here. Okay, so the back of this one is so cute. It's a little tunnel. I love the way they have these little markers here to... it's a ruler, but I don't know the dimensions, and they don't have numbers, so I'll probably just use it as a straight edge if I need to use that. So that's the A6 size. This one is so cute that it's pink, and I love all this fun stuff they have going on here. And it's for my financial book, which is so boring, so we can definitely use that in there. Look at that. Look at this. Would you look at this? Okay, and then, okay, wait, because you have these two things here too, but I like this one, Daddy. This one's so cute. Okay, so that's there. And then, like I said, I saved the best for last because this is what actually got me to order a Hobonichi this year. I don't remember this game, but I remember these graphics. The game is called Mother, and I don't know if this is correct or not, but I think the same person who created this game called Mother, or Mother 2, or something like that, is the same person who founded Hobonichi. I don't know. Somewhere I read that. I didn't know if that was something that, like, Maybe I read when my eyes were already tired or what, but I was like, wow, that's really funny because I like both. That's really cool. So this is the Hobonichi Techo Han, and it's the mother clay figurines. It's an A5 size. And so the thing about, so this is most like the cousin. So the hone is, oh, and I love it because it's got like this, I don't know if you can see the glare on that. This is like shiny. I'm going to love using this. Anyway, all right, I just got distracted. It comes with these two like bookmarks. I'm going to take those out. But okay, if you know anything about the Hobonichis, like they have these versions that are just plain. I'm sure you do. Like, who am I? Then I'm educating you on what a Hobonichi is. Just go Google Hobonichi. Everybody probably knows about it at this point in life. But the regular covers are sort of like this cardboard-esque or this like cardstock version. And the Hone, or the, yeah, it's a Hobonichi Hone is what it's called because it rhymes with Hone. Um, it's a hard hardcover, and this one in particular has this like shiny. I'm in love with this. I gotta really do something cool with this because I'm gonna want to pick this up all the time. So maybe I'll put something really hard, like a really hard project or something in this. I don't think it's gonna be my like work planner because I already have a works like ecosystem that works for me. We do a lot of things digitally, and we work collaboratively. So I love to write things down, but mostly I can only get to writing them on an index card before like the project is either taking over and I just have enough time to take notes and move on. And then there's some stuff that I work on myself, and then I have to either delegate it or share it with a colleague. So a lot of the stuff that I do for work is not, I can't really like track it analog, which I love tracking analog stuff. Look at this. This is so dope. This is one of the most fun planners I've ever had. I love the way it feels. This is, says in the back, Mother 2 Hobonichi. I love the way it feels. I love the fact that it's like shiny and like I can wipe it off because I just put that lotion on. So it's probably a little bit of my fingerprints on there, but this is so cool. So I'm definitely going to do something cool with this. Like I said, I'm using this, which, oh my gosh, this is so fun. I'm so excited. I'm going to use this pencil board with this one, and this is the back of it. Oh, teal, which is one of my favorite colors, as I said. But this has like Tamagotchi land. This is the coolest thing, and I realize on the inside is what's important because that's what I'm going to be looking at mostly, but this is just such a joy to hold in my hand. The great thing about having a planner is just holding that in your hand and knowing you're holding your year in your hand. You're holding time in your hand, and whatever's in this book, if you're committed to it, is going to be the difference between the old you and the new you, or the future you. And so it's really cool when you have something that you want to hold, and it's like, you know, the contents of this book are shaping my life, and I love that. I love this book. This is so cool. All right, let's talk about what the cousin is for those of you who might not know. It's basically like an all-in-one planner where you have like, obviously, most planning companies have that first spread in there where it has the full year at a glance, but then you have these trackers, you have the months, and this, unlike the weeks that I talked about like before, when I tried to use the weeks as like one of my main planner or something like that, there was no way I could fit like appointments and due dates and all that stuff in one spread in the weeks. But I would have been able to do that in a cousin probably because you see it's much bigger boxes. But anyway, getting back to it, you have your months in the front, so all the months of 2026 are right here, and then it even gives you a couple of, it gives you one Head Start month, which I didn't even open this up until now, so I wasn't obviously going to get to use that for December 2025, but then you get December 2026, and then you get January, I think all the way through March, February, March, yeah, so I get from now until next March to use this. Of course, by then I'll have another planner. But it's really nice to have this so that if I'm planning into that space, right, like it's December of next year or November of this year, you know, not next year. Let's say it's November of 2026 and I'm making a doctor's appointment for February. It'll be nice to be able to have something like that. But I probably wouldn't put, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to use this for. It's going to be something fun. Anyway, so you start with your months, and then you go into your weeks from We're starting here in January. I think we're in this week right now. So we're starting in January, get all the weeks, and then after all the weeks, which I'm just going to skip through, that's when you get all the days. So then it's a daily planner. So it's all the same dates, right, that are previously shown, but it's like a breakdown. Like you can see your whole week here, you can see your whole month here, and then you get down and you can get into the nitty gritty with the days. And this is like prime planner real estate, A5 baby, 5x5x8. Like I think those are dimensions, something like that. Here, let's measure it. Of course, this doesn't have anything on it, so I can't use that. Well, look, we're just gonna have to fail at that today. Go look up the dimensions for A5. It's a lot of space. It's worth it. I love this book. I don't really know exactly what I'm gonna do in this book, but it's gonna be really importante, and it's gonna change my world. So look at this. Isn't this so cute? I can't wait to use this, y'all. Well, anyway, I just want to thank you if you made your way all the way through this, and let me know what you're planning in this year. Some of y'all are digital planners, and I promise not to judge you because I actually have to use a digital component of planning with my work, and it's also really good for reminders. But there's nothing like analog writing things down. A really big sort of supporter of that lifestyle. So, oh, these are cute little bookmarks. Oh, that's so cute. The only thing I find weird about this whole setup is this little nose guy. I don't know what his name is, but there was something else that I could have gotten, but it had him all over it, and I was like, he just looks really weird. I don't know what to tell you. It just looks really odd to me. Okay? But I think this is him right here. And I don't know the character names, but I am familiar with, oh, maybe that's him or her. I don't know. It's got a bow in its hair, so who knows. But I definitely am familiar with this little guy right here, and she seems familiar. This guy with the spacesuit seems familiar, and I guess there's a professor, yeah, that I'm familiar with. But yeah, I don't think I've ever played the game though. I could be mistaken about that, but I don't think I've ever. If it's a video game, I've never played it, or if it's a cartoon, maybe I've seen it, but I don't remember. I don't know. But yeah, these are really cute. They're cute little bookmarks that I could just put in here and save whatever space that I'm using. I'm going to come up with something real fun to use this for because I have a lot of projects that I'm excited about this year. And I want to pick a really hard one so that it could make me pick this planner up because I'm so excited about this one. Anyway, like I said, if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, please let me know what your thoughts are about these things, whether you have any ideas. Oh, and I forgot to open this up. So this is a little paperweight. People have already done this. The professional Hobonichi haulers have already covered this. So, you know, you can go back and look at their videos if you want somebody to do it in a more or a less chaotic way. But this is a little, it's a little robot that says, "You love you." And this is the whole theme, right? Every time I pulled out one of these, it's like, there's a whole story about you know, what you should be doing, loving yourself, all that stuff. And so I like that for the aspect, for the idea of what it stands for, but also it's just very cute to sit there on my desk when I'm in the middle of some boring or hard conversation on Zoom, and I can look at this little guy and it'll remind me to love myself. And is it magnetic or am I tripping? It might just be heavy. It might just be heavy. But anyway, he's cute. He's a cutie pie. He can stay. So, if you made it to the end of this video, I'll keep saying this, but give me a shout out. Let me know what your thoughts are on this lineup and what you're planning in this year. Because I'm always curious to know that and get more ideas on, you know, what's working for other people. Maybe get some inspiration. So, thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.